I mean, we were just sitting back, you know, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that. You know, tracking my roots, where I came from and where I'm going.
Well, what's up, guys? Bethany Flores here, 7 times CrossFit Games athlete. We are here for another day in the life. This one's going to be more emphasized on a training day. So this morning I started with a 40-minute zone 2 workout where I was profusely sweating everywhere, soaked in sweat. It was a good little session. We've been kind of building the last 2 weeks with adding in time with that. So we're up to 40, hopefully going to get to 60 by the games. And now we are at the gym. We are going to do a quick deadlifting session. And then we're going to head out to the track where we're going to do a track and field day, because apparently Games put this on there that we have Friday night lights, 8 p.m. at the track. We don't know what we're doing, so we're just kind of guessing, and we're just going to do some like strongman stuff today and some running and hope for the best. I mean, they could bring a rig out there, who knows, but that is going to be today. Maybe end with some accessory work and then call it a day. We are done deadlifting, so we are going to go to the track now and hit session, so you can consider it 3. Session 3. To the track we go. And that's it. Death time. Hot death time. Oh, and then we have a ruck run later. It's going to be hot. We have our ESMAs, Emotional Support Masters Athletes, going on. Except we have a Masters athlete that's actually going to the CrossFit Games, Mr. Jake over here.
Ooh, okay.
Going to Alabamers.
Yeah.
Good old
3 weeks, I
Alabamers.
have to keep going after you.
I know, it sucks for him. And this is Rob over here.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, sir.
He owns Bolt.
Supplier of burritos and cookies.
Deliciousness.
Not specifically for the
here.
games, but definitely for, there you go. Yeah.
Where can we find it? Where can we find it?
2 places. You can find us in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard, and you can find us in Hermosa Beach on Hermosa app.
That's why I'm a Masters athlete.
Know you're a Masters athlete when you have to belt up to unload the truck.
Yeah.
You should see it when it's just grocery bags.
Got a belt up for that. Double belt.
What are you measuring out?
Measuring out the sled, which is supposed to be 60 yards, which is 180 feet. Ooh, I should probably, so I'm at 100 right now. Should I go all the way? Do you think 80 feet is from there to there?
So I haven't known Bethany that long. I met her about a year ago, just when we started working out at the gym in Redondo. And at the time, she was in kind of a rough spot. She was like fighting her back stuff that was going on. And then games came around. She had that amazing showing in the semifinals. And, you know, I can't say I've known her for a long period of time, but the time that I've known her, I've watched her, she's just so diligent about what she does. She's careful in her movements. She makes sure that she's taking care of her body. She makes sure that she's taking care of herself. And she's also just one of the most generous people in the gym. Like, she will, I mean, I know everybody says this about athletes, whatever, but I mean, she will like go and help like the earliest beginner who walks into that gym the same way she helps me or Jake or Randy. I mean, she's on it. She's always quick to stand and have a conversation with somebody, talk about like fitness and nutrition and whatever else is going on for her. So I think she's incredibly impressive and just also an amazing athlete. Yeah, so it's fun to train with her.
do. So yeah, I was surprised Jake did it too. I was like, shoot, if he's not putting it down, then I definitely can't. It's a long time, but I'm happy that we both were able to do that because really wasn't planning on doing that. But that's the pros of like working out with other people. Pushes you to do things that you wouldn't do by yourself. I probably would have done it by myself, but it's better. It's better with other people. I'm not so sure about this sled after what I saw Rob.
Let's see. I mean, I got it moving, but the field is graded for, so it may be easier to go down than across because I think there's a hill in the center because it's graded for water.
How would you describe Bethany to somebody else if you had to describe this? What's Bethany like?
She's the sweetest, fiercest competitor I've ever met.
Oh my gosh!
Be the girls in the final heat. You got this.
I'm just gonna do a push press. Jeez. All right, do it like that. I knew that workout was going to be tough, and that was probably like the whole point of it, was just kind of like heartbreak city. So yeah, the sled just didn't move, even though it barely had any weight on it. But I think that's good. Like, it's frustrating because you can't just like move through it. You have to like stop a bunch. And I feel like there's always like 1 or 2 workouts like that at the games. So it's good to like be able to do that, especially like 5 weeks out, because that means I can do it a couple more times. So I'm actually really thankful that I was able to do everything, because that was my first time doing the 100-pound sandbag like that. I did the 80 last week, so that's also very encouraging that I have 5 more weeks and I've touched the 100-pound sandbag. That's more than I could say all of last year. But yeah, I think it was hard. It was just a hard workout because you just had to, it was heavy for me. It's all relative. And it was just a grind kind of workout. But when I'm like my healthiest, I like those type of workouts, because it's all about just heart and grinding it out and being resilient. So hopefully I can kind of get my edge back with that. I feel like I did okay today, but I feel like I have more to give. So hopefully if I can do that a couple more times before the games, it'll be good for just like the mental reps. But yeah, I mean, it's not that hot. Like, it's like the sun is out and it's like no clouds in the sky, but we're in California, so it's nice. Luxury living out here, can't complain. But yeah, I got a little sweaty, that's for sure. But nothing was too crazy. But it's definitely like a grinder for sure.
What have we got now?
All right, we got a ruck run, 2.5 miles with 56 pounds in my rucksack. Let's get this started.
Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Yeah. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change.
Terrible. It was more like a walk run. The pace that I was going, I was pretty sure I was going like 12 miles an hour or whatever. I guess I don't even know what the pace was. 12. Anyways, so we're done here, relaxing just for a second, and then we're headed back to the gym, and we're gonna drop off the equipment and do a couple of accessory things. So catch you in a bit.
A lot of times you would do accessory either to maybe support that athlete individually, like if they have some kind of deficit in some area, you can kind of help fill the gaps. Maybe they have a weak posterior chain, so you do things that are geared towards that. You know, maybe quad strength isn't great. You know, they start to make their squats hingy or things like that. So belt squatting or cyclist squats, like you can definitely help support some of those movements and kind of build some strength. Or really, like with the higher volume accessory work, more times it's geared towards hypertrophy, which is muscle growth, right? Which is increasing the cross-sectional area of the muscle, which, like, if you're sports bodybuilding, that's great, but how it applies to CrossFit or any other sport is if I can increase the cross-sectional area, I give that muscle and that tissue more potential to produce force, and eventually, if you train it in a powerful way, to produce power. So it's kind of that first step, first off, but I think the way we're viewing it for her is more so for a longevity kind of thing, more of a health thing. So training some of these muscles at length. So you see the goblet squat today, we're going through a full range of motion, which is great for the knee joint, great for the rec fem, even though you're creasing at the hip, so it's not lengthened on both sides of the knee and the hip. You're still getting a lot of length through the quads. And then with the Nordic ham, it's more of a knee dominant hamstring exercise. So you could do all the hinging, you could do RDLs, you could do single leg RDLs, you could do glute hams, which kind of are more of a knee dominant joint hamstring exercise, but this is another way to kind of train the hamstrings more eccentrically, which is important. The thing is with them, they're pretty taxing, so like it's a great time to do them today because she has tomorrow off. So there's a little bit of strategy, I think, with how you place accessory, but to me, the biggest reason for a lot of accessory movements is overall health, supporting some of the synergists that help with like the main movements that you're gonna do.
I feel like for me and for most of my career, I've almost overdone the accessory, which is the opposite of most CrossFitters. I feel like a lot of CrossFitters kind of just skip out on that because they're like, oh, it's the last thing, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna call it a day. But I'm very, what is the word? Obsessive. So I would do everything from A to Z, almost to like my detriment. So we've had to really pull back on a lot of the accessory work the last couple of years and just like he said, like place it in specific places throughout the programming instead of you have to hammer this every single day, blah, 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 because there's just like a lot of extra that's kind of wasted to a certain extent. So it's like you have to place it perfectly in a program, and that comes with like expertise from him that I've learned over the last couple of years. So like he said, after like tomorrow we have a rest day, so today is a good day to hammer some of this stuff, and which is why we go to Gold's Gym and like do a lot of the bodybuilding stuff on a day like this, because yeah, I have the day off tomorrow. We finished the training day. It was a long one. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I don't feel like super drained or anything or exhausted. I think it was like a grind during each piece, but getting done with it, I feel okay. I feel like I could go another day, which is good. That's how you want it. I think overall it was a really good day. It was a good push. I'm grateful that I've been able to do some stuff like this leading up to the games, because last year at this time it was just about survival mode. So I'm really grateful that this experience overall is way different, and still have 5 weeks. So that's even more exciting for me. So I'm hoping 5 more weeks of consistent training and being able to push and grind it out and just kind of see what I can put together on the floor. Check you later, guys.
I mean, we were just sitting back, you know, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that. You know, tracking my roots, where I came from.